Woo! Those who are in the Willamette Valley in Oregon, Pacific Northwest, in the surrounding area, I think knows there's been scorcher in the Willamette Valley area. I don't know how the Seattle area and down south, Eugene towards North California is, but Oregon's been warm. But we've been lucky to be out in the coastal range for the last couple of days with the kiddos. But today's episode is not about that. I'm gonna start with welcoming everybody new and everybody old to Bud Nixon channel. Channel is sometimes bilingual, sometimes not, so don't be surprised if you hear a little bit of Russian. Всем доброго дня, доброго утра, доброго вечера, приятного времяпровождения. Вы на канале Bud Nixon, двуязычный канал. Иногда одноязычный, иногда двуязычный, но тем не менее будете слушать туда-сюда. Учим языки. So, let's start learning some languages. And that's not what you're here for, but doesn't matter. Вы здесь не языки учить, вы здесь послушать информацию, может быть полезным. Поэтому начнем с самого интересного. Сегодняшний разговор, today's topic, will be on rooftop tents and a fan. So, о вентиляторе, вытяжке и о полаках на крыше. Look at this guy. So, if you have watched my channel before, you would have noticed a video popped up that I did a review on another solar fan. Если вы смотрели предыдущее видео, было видео ревью небольшого о вентиляторе на крышу. What happened there is that I did not like that one. It was an Amazon one. I think I put a link in there. If not, ask me. Well, actually, I'll put a link down below. So we're about 2 minutes. So I'm going to try to remember 2 minutes. At 2 minutes, we have links popping up. But anyway, in the description you'll see links. So в описании я там поставлю ссылочки на первый вентилятор, который я делал ревью. So it was for the first one, and I didn't like that one. It was really poor quality. It was really similar price range. Цена была примерно такая же, как у этого. So let's grab a tape measure so we know what's going on here. This is a one-hand camera operation. So we're about 9 inches on the top. So примерно 9 дюймов сверху. We got 16 solar cells. And look at this fan. Yes, I mean, yeah, made in China, сделано в Китае. Ну что ж, не в этом проблема. But this guy, two-position switch, perfect. Out, in, off. Можно контролировать как хотите. Open up the box. These guys did a little bit better job of presenting their product, I think. Немножко получше они. So this is Remington Solar. I'm not sure if they're considered to be, you know, like a US brand, but I mean, obviously everything is made in China. So they gave us 3 screws. So this is a solar boat vent. And if you haven't followed the thing from the beginning, James Baroud tents, the ones that are nice and pricey, and they come from somewhere in Europe, I think Argentina. No, I'm kidding. Argentina is South America. Бренд James Baroud, который из Европы. It's not Spain. It's not Italy. It's some other country. Well, maybe it is Spain. So anyways, I don't mean to butcher the brand or the name. It's great. Великолепная компания James Baroud с Европы. Они здесь стоят просто рука и нога и чуть больше. Ну, хотя, в принципе, нормально. I mean, actually, you know, if you consider that rooftop tent is like just over 4K from CVT. I love it. So far it's been my favorite one. James Barouds are right about 3 to 5K, 7K maybe or something. But James Baroud tents, they usually have a fan. Обычно James Baroudовские палатки имеют вытяжку. Why you need a fan? Number one, when you're sleeping, it kind of circulates the air. Number two, when you're not using the tent, and you have it set to, I think, maybe to the out, right? So it kind of maybe sucks the air out, creates a little vacuum. And then if you have it maybe in, meaning blowing in, as you're traveling down the dusty road, hey, I just created something new. So if you have it set to in, I think it'll create back pressure or vacuum inside the tent, which will prevent dust from entering inside the tent as you're traveling down. Because as we all know, seals are not always great on any tent. I have not seen any tent that has perfectly sealed ever. It doesn't matter what brand it is. That's just my personal opinion. Again, so речь идет о чем, что позиция out, то есть когда он будет вытягивать воздух из палатки, мы выгоняем конденсат, не так будет там все как бы влажно, скажем так. А если поставить на позицию in, то что будет происходить, он будет засасывать воздух внутрь, пыли сверху обычно нету, обычно, скажем так, то по большому счету у нас создается тогда вакуум или как давление, внутреннее давление от вентилятора, и получается пыль не будет заходить через разные щелки, пробелы там какие-то, где-то какие-то непонятности в палатке. So anyways, the whole point is to see if we can get this guy in. I'm gonna try to take it apart and see little components. So I'm gonna pause the video. Take around what we got, 3 screws. So 3 screws that hold it, 1, 2, 3. And then the 3 more screws that will hold it into the actual tent. Ну, примерно, значит, у нас 3 шурупа держат тут и 3 шурупа сверху. I'm gonna replace all those screws with bolts and nuts. Why? Because I like my things to be a little more safe, if you want to call it that way. I guess that's the right word. Next thing is what? Battery. Battery here is totally different. Well, not different, but it just, they have it in like a different way rather than just kind of fixed in another one. I mean, this thing is actually going through an adapter like this. So let's see how that works. Well, let's pop this open. Got the camera on a tripod. So first thing first, actually, let's see. This measures about 4 3/4. We got 4. Yeah, we're 4.5. I have this blade back from my Lexus LX 470 times. I think we can dremel a little bit out, so we can make it work with this event. So again, Amazon links will be in description. We don't need this whole thing kind of, so it meant for both, so it meant for things that are going to get wet all the time technically. So I think this is one of the reasons why this thing is not just any 1/2 inch 3/4. This thing is 2 inches large, so this seal should keep things at bay, especially with us snow camping, wheeling and doing whatever stuff. Now how will that affect the fact that it'll be at this way like this on a tent? Will that be a problem? What do you guys think? Let me know. But I will let you know through this way. Everything is stainless steel. Все нержавеечка. И смотрится очень даже презентабельно. So let's take this guy off. Something's not coming out yet, and I'm not seeing what's holding it. Just a matter of taking the lid off. At least that's how it looks. Oh, you can make it look all white if you want to, huh? Check that out. Just have it all white, or paint it black, and it'll be black to make your tent even. Okay, not sure what's going on here. We're gonna break it or what? How does this come apart? Because I would like to have it come apart. I'm thinking that maybe this is the regular main thing to do. Don't look at directions. Oh, yes, I was right. So, yeah, if you look at directions, so they went ahead and they actually sealed the switch. I mean, this is actually, you know, quality work, I'll say. So this thing does not work with just solar. Doesn't look like the fan is trying to do anything by itself. The battery, let's see, battery data. What they're telling us is a 3.7 2600 milliamp hours. So вот такой вот аккумулятор у нее. What I like is this is just not a regular plug. You actually plug it in, and then what you do, right? Oh, it's water seal. Nice. Watertight plug, and it's got a nut on it, right? So now with the nut in the place, what we got is, I don't know, do we put that guy in here, or what do we do with it? So let's see. Ooh, look at that. I say it's pretty quiet too. I don't know, can you hear it over the other fan? I mean, definitely perfect. So this is not meant to do anything other than circulate air. I mean, it's not supposed to be like your ceiling fan to cool you off. If you need that, I'm not sure where I got mine, somewhere laying around, but you can buy one for that specific reason. So let's look through directions and see what they actually recommend of how to put the battery. Are you talking about that part here anywhere? So installation deck chamber. So they're talking not to put it on any of the chambers, right? So you got to put it on a flat surface, obviously. Do they tell us about any degrees in holes that you saber saw? So we can use a jigsaw technically. That's right, okay. Deck mount, remove the plate, blah, blah, blah. They're not talking about any angles. Or what angle, maximum it should be or minimum it should be. How to install the battery. Take it apart. So we do slip the battery into that little compartment. The negative towards the negative, positive towards the positive. Which is technically irregardless because it doesn't matter. And how do they want us to secure? Yeah, so toggle. Switch off as it goes over when you turn the battery, make the battery and the battery fade to the top of the battery control. We have your database and the different sizes, rolls, sizes of total 6 feet holes, the holes are different obviously, so make sure you're lining up the right way, and that's it. They don't tell anything about lining up. Okay, well I guess when we put this thing together and you keep the plug kind of out of the way, it will get locked out of this area of the fan and it should not bother the fan. You need to line up the hole for the switch. Yep, I don't know if you can see it, you guys. No, видно, не видно. So you got to line these holes up obviously, because these holes and these holes, they have a little area where this part comes in. You need to, when you're doing it backwards, you need to make sure everything lines back up as it should. The switch should be back here. And like I said, I don't know if you can see it or not, that plug connection for the battery, it's kind of tucked away behind the fan enclosure. I guess it's kind of annoying, but I mean, you can turn it off when you're sleeping. But my goal is to have it in the tent on and off as I'm traveling. I mean, that's the goal at least. If it's going to be useful or not, I don't know. We'll find out. Будет ли толк от нее, будет польза какая-то, кто его знает. Am I excited about cutting a hole in the rooftop tent? I guess you could say so. The only thing I haven't checked yet, which I need to, is I need to find out how tall this thing is going to stick. It's going to be inch and roughly 3/4, примерно 1,3 дюйма будет торчать оно свыше палатки. Well, the reason I say that is because I don't want it to hang out past my rack, because I still want to be able to use my rack. And one other thing I think we're going to go for, now again, I'm going to replace these screws probably with bolt and nut combo, or put some block washers onto or under the screws to prevent the cap from coming off. But then the other thing is, I don't think maybe that's going to be necessary, because when I use bolts and nuts here, I think everything else will be held together. So let's see. Anyway, let's go find out the rest. So CVT tent, this is a double channel. This is the only one that I would recommend. And we are at just over 2 inches. примерно 2, so roughly 2.25. So the fan should fit just fine under the rack. If you put anything over the rack, it's not gonna, not gonna be damaging the fan. Now I need to figure out where to put the fan in. So after any kind of a camping, especially around sand, you wanna clean out and vent out. So I say we put it like right there somewhere, right? I think that'll be perfect. But I don't think I need to put it anywhere here, or maybe here. Actually, I think where I have my rail, I'm gonna put it right over there. Because over there, up in the front, I'm thinking of adding another solar panel. And now basically everything else here will be taken care of. So let's see what we can figure. That's the sound it makes when it's on. All right, well, guten Morgen. Good morning. Shall we continue on the topic? So, on off. Video previously would reflect what the plan was. But anyways, the idea behind the whole thing is to cut this out. So this what it looks like. And let's see, where do I have a tape measure nearby? I think this is about 1 inch. And most people are gonna call me crazy. Well, actually, yeah. I'm gonna say it's 3/4 plus the carpeting, so 7/8 roughly. So this is, I think, aluminum honeycomb, how they make the panels for the rooftop tents. Anyways, cut that out. Use whatever the tool you had. I did not have a hole saw large enough, so I just drilled a hole and used this guy. Значит, вырезали дырку, просто сверло, потом пилой по кругу. And then I went with some stainless steel bolts and nuts. Let's go in here. I mean, if you want to make it all perfect, I already put the pad in, but I pulled everything out. If you want to make it perfect, ideally, what you want to do is you want to grind these down as flat as possible. In my case, I'm just keeping them right now this way, and I'm putting plastic caps over this. So пластиковые крышечки поставим сверху, чтобы нормально было. But in general, I mean, you don't really have your head area up here anyways. I mean, if you're in a tent and you're bumping your head up here, you're obviously trying some new positions out of some, I don't know, if you know what I mean. Если вы здесь головой бьетесь, то, друзья, вы новые позы чего-то другого там используете, пробуйте. So, keep in mind, this guy is out or in or off. And this is the way it sounds, which is kind of a lot. And to me, it's what is interesting, if that's the noise of the bearings of the fan, or is it the noise of the actual fan? Would I sleep with it like that? I would not sleep like that. Let me flip the camera. I wouldn't sleep with the fan on. And again, remember that the fan is not really a fan for... It's not a ceiling fan. Это не вентилятор, который для вытяжки или для оборота кислорода в вашей палатке. So if you need a ceiling fan, I highly recommend this guy. It is a CVT brand, obviously. So it's a light. It has a center light. It has a ring light. They call them like UFO lights or something, but I think this is just a regular. I mean, this thing is wonderful. Different positions on a light. You got a sensor here that shows how much charge you have. Charge ports here, and then you have the fan on. And this thing is quiet. And it will run for quite some time. I mean, I've run it probably for 2 or 3 nights without recharging, and it did good for me. So with that said, if you want a fan in your tent, that's what those are for. This guy is to simply circulate in or out. Remember that originally these were from I mean, these are used on like yachts and boats, whatever, to pull out moisture or to bring in fresh air into whatever the compartment is. So they're not really meant for a quiet sleep. Значит, это не совсем, это вентилятор вытяжка или втяжка, как ее там правильно назвать, даже не знаю. Вот, это вентилятор, который стоит на яхтах, на лодках, чтобы циркулировать воздух в разных отсеках, чтобы там, может, что-то не прело, не гнило, не ржавело лишний раз или что-то подобное. So, with that said, oh yeah, outside picture, right? Or outside view. That's how it looks. And remember, that thing has, let me pause it real quick. So that's how much space. I mean, it's like 1/4 inch, maybe less, that you have all around it. It's probably, yeah, let's just say 1/4 inch. Solar from the top. So I should have protected this a little better, I think, when I was running the saw. And не защитил это никак, не покрыл. Ночью делал, что-то не подумал совсем. So anyways, well, long-term review. I don't know how it will be or if it's even worth doing, for the fact that nowadays everything gets so outdated quickly. Я не знаю, если есть смысл делать какой-то ревью. If you watch this video, obviously, way later after August 1st of 2022, если вы смотрите это видео уже давно после 1 августа 2022 года, можете меня спросить, как оно все получилось. You can ask me how it all went. But for now, it does the job. In my opinion, it was a worthwhile addition considering the Oregon moisture, because I think it'll work to draw the moisture out of the tent. And I do my due diligence as far as venting out the tents. Я не знаю, я проветриваю палатки достаточно много, поэтому мне это не обязательно было. Мне просто было интересно посмотреть вообще, как этот вентилятор работает, как его установить. For me, it was very just, as you know me, R&Ding and everything. I just wanted to see the process. And I mean, James Baroud tents, they're using this is for a reason, I think. Maybe it's because Portugal, or I believe it's Portugal. С Португалии James Baroud компания, которая пользуется этими вентиляторами. Как бы есть причина, почему они их ставят. So, well, we'll see, I guess, right? So, thanks for checking out the video. I'll put the links down below for the fan. I don't know, maybe some other stuff. And there's a list of everything that I use on my builds, on the trailer, on the kitchen setup, on the Nissan. So, until next one, take care, guys.